Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Bay Area Focus. I'm your host, Michelle Griego. A big shout out to all the moms watching. We have got lots in store this Mother's Day morning. Places to go, ways to relax. But first, the San Francisco International Arts Festival gets underway soon in San Francisco, showcasing artists from around the globe. And here to tell us all about it is Executive Director Andrew Wood and actor, writer, and comic Brian Copeland. Welcome to Bay Area Focus.
Well, good morning. It's good to be here.
So I'm so excited to talk about this festival. First, let's start about how it all came to be. You started it in 2002?
2003 was the first one.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to a booking conference in New York, which I'd never been to before. It's called the APAP conference. And I couldn't believe how much stuff was there and how much didn't come here. And so we thought we would try and create a platform that was about international artists that didn't usually come to the Bay Area, as well as local artists, and combining the two. So that's what we did.
Judging from your accent, I can tell you're from out of town.
I am, yes.
The East Bay.
He's
from the East Bay.
From the East Bay.
South of where?
I thought
South
it
of
sounded
London.
familiar.
Yeah.
Why San Francisco?
I've lived here for 27 years. Yeah. And I think, I'll try to do the quick answer, is that San Francisco is a small town, like most festival cities. If you think of Avignon, you think of Edinburgh, these are small cities. You couldn't take over London or New York because they're too big. But San Francisco has the sort of the footprint of a small city, but it has the artistic infrastructure of a major capital city. So we thought if we can just change what we do a bit, bring in some, augment it with international work, we could have one of the best festivals in the world at a fraction of the cost.
And now it's just grown so much since...
Well, we're at the Fort Mason Center now. We've been there since 2015. They're our partners in this. So we have half a dozen venues that they give us as we're able to fill up with lots of different work. And we have 2 or 3 shows a day in each venue. So it's a lot of things going on at the same time.
Yeah, and people really look forward to it every year. So, Brian, this year you're bringing the Scion. What is that about?
Yes. Scion is a solo play that I first opened about 4 years ago now that deals with a really infamous case in my hometown of San Leandro back in 2000 when the owner of the Santos Linguiça factory murdered 3 meat inspectors for inspecting his factory. 3rd-generation owner videotaped himself committing the murders because he'd grown up with privilege and thought that he wouldn't be held accountable. And it took this for him to finally be held accountable. So the play is it's a comic and tragic story of the role of privilege in society as well as the role of regulation in society.
It's such a serious subject, though, but you just said comedy is
Yeah,
involved.
there's comedy involved in it. And that was the trick in terms of writing. David Ford, who's my director and collaborator, and in terms of us putting this together. The main storyline is Stuart Alexander's family, his history, his evolution right up to the murders, but there are all of these side issues. And, I talk about personal experiences in that same town with things that he did, but I did something different and I would get stopped by police and he didn't. Or some instances of having to deal with inspectors coming to look at a place that I was buying and what the things that seemed ridiculous. So there are lots of rooms for comedy. There are no jokes, obviously, about the murder, about the actual tragedy itself. But it's a pretty thought-provoking piece when you look at where we are in America today.
Well, you've done it all. You've been on TV, radio, theater. What is it about the live audience and theater that gives you that rush?
I started out, in stand-up, 20 years of stand-up touring with Smokey Robinson and playing a Punchline and Cobb's and all the clubs around here. And the thing that's great about theater and comedy and live audiences, it's immediate gratification. I mean, you know from second to second how you're doing, whereas opposed to television, as you well know, you won't know until you see the overnights how you're doing until you see the numbers tomorrow.
Very true.
Whereas, I know, okay, I'm going over or I'm not going over. They're telling me immediately.
Yeah, that's great. It brings that kind of energy. Andrew, there is a theme this year.
There is. Down by the Riverside, it's honoring Dr. Martin Luther King. And some of the work in the festival speaks directly to Dr. Martin Luther King's life and on honoring him. But for us as the festival, I think there's 2 important things. One is what did he say 50 years ago that's still important to this country now, and with the political winds that are, we thought that was important to address that. And second, what Anthony Brown and Angela Davis are doing, they have a piece called Down by the Riverside, and they're commenting on his Riverside speech, his Riverside Church speech, which was entitled Beyond Vietnam. And when King came out against the Vietnam War, he was doing what he wasn't supposed to be doing, which was going cross-sector. He wasn't supposed to be talking. He was the civil rights guy. He wasn't the anti-war guy. And people pilloried him for that. But the most important thing now is that we are being attacked in so many different ways that an attack on one should be seen as an attack on all. So a lot of the work in the festival is about women's rights, about immigrant rights, it's about regulations, what Brian is doing. But it's really about how do we organize across sectors.
I think it's great what the festival is doing and having that inclusion and multiculturalism and diversity. So thank you so much for coming on the show and telling us all about it. Good luck with Scion. And remember, the San Francisco International Arts Festival is happening May 24th through June 3rd. For tickets and more information, just go to sfiaf.org. Coming up, ways for moms to de-stress. We all need that, right? When Bay Area Focus returns.